Now, people call us all the time and says, Don, what is the best day to do this? The answer is, I don't know, because the best day and the best amount is always changing. If you're optimizing something, you take current data, you do the math, and then you come up with brand new directions. So with this amount of data, the program is saying on 12/7, they started in October. In 12/7, you're going to have enough money in savings to put $3,170 on debt. Why is that so powerful? Instead of you trying to figure out how you're going to put an extra $500 or extra $200 every month and struggle to do that even when your budget is tight, how would you like to be able to predict based on your spending pattern how much you're going to be able to save and then take the money out of your savings account after you've run through your entire budget, including spending your fund money? You get to run your budget. You get to spend the money the way that you feel you need to. And that's the way it should be. And even the money that you put in there for your family to create memories and have some fun, that becomes a bill that you want to pay every month. Listen, how much money do you want to spend on yourself? That's a bill. Okay, put it in there, put it into the program. And then the program will then predict how much money you will have in 2 or 3 months to put on the debt. Look at this, $3,170. So instead of putting the money in October, instead of putting the money in November, the program says, let's go down to December and put the money on the debt in December. And what we're going to do is take the money, the first part of this money, on the 7th of the month. It says take the money from savings and put it on the Visa and pay the Visa off to zero. Look at that. So when we do that, the program will do something that no other program does on the planet. It will tell us how much interest we just saved for doing that. All right. So the program says future interest savings, $1,771.34. Folks, what does that really mean? Here's what it means. If you make minimum payments all the time to pay off this debt, you will also have to give the bank $1,771.34 in interest along with paying back the money you borrowed. So if you give them back the money early, that means you don't have to pay the $1,771.34. And this is the sauce that makes everything work. All right, so what's next? So we'll cancel out of this. So we paid off the credit card. Now, we had over $3,000 to put on. So where do we put the rest of the money? So the program says, oh, since we paid off the credit card, we're not going to put any extra money on the car this month. We're going to put that extra money on the mortgage instead. $1,166.98 to the penny. To the penny. And the program will then tell us, if we do, how much interest we will save if we do that. Future interest savings, $5,675.26. Wow. What if everybody knew that if you did that, this is how much interest you would save? Now, again, keep this in mind. If you make your mortgage payments just like the bank wanted you to pay them, by the time you pay your mortgage down by $1,166.98, you will also have given them $5,675.26 in interest to do that. This is what keeps us in debt a long, long time. Paying down the loan, but giving them all of that interest money. So if you give them that money ahead of time out of your savings account, guess what? You get the equity and you don't have to pay $5,600 in interest. Man. What other program on the planet does that? So, Don, don't they have over $5,000 in savings? Yeah, they got over $5,000 in savings right now. But the program says stop at $1,166.98. Why? Because if they paid any more right now, the amount of interest they could save per dollar would go down. I just showed you by paying the wrong amount, even if it's more, it could be detrimental to how much interest you end up paying overall and keep you in debt longer because you're paying the wrong amount at the wrong time, even if it's more. Watch this. This is why the program says the optimum time And the optimum amount is right here on the 7th of the month. Don't even put it in with your regular mortgage payment. The regular mortgage payment goes in on the 1st of the month. Wait 6 days and then put extra money on the debt because that's the time to add it. It's going to mean more for you if you wait 7 days and then put $1,166.98 and save $5,675.26. So let's do a little math here. Okay, so if we take the $5,675.26 and divide it by the amount of money that we're actually going to pay, all right, we're going to divide it by $1,166.98. How much are we saving per dollar? Equals $4.86. 486. 4.863. I'm making a note right now. 4.863. Okay? So what if we did this instead? What if I didn't know about the law of diminished return? That's what we're talking about today, folks. When you put more on than you should at the wrong time, the results are going to be diminished. It's just math. It's not magic. It's just math. All right. So $4.86. So we've got more than $5,000 in savings right now. So why don't we just round this baby up to $1,500? Let the program recalculate and say, oh, now you can save $7,259.78 instead of the $5,000. Well, to the untrained eye, this looks better until we do the math. So we're going to do the math. We're going to clear this out. We're going to put in $7,259.78. That's how much interest we could save, but we have to pay $1,500 instead to get it. So we're going to divide it by 1,500 equals $4.83, not $4.86. You're actually saving less per dollar when you put more on at the wrong time. But there is a compounding effect when you start putting the wrong money on debt for long periods of time. And I need you to watch this instead. Do you see the $179,564 that John and Rebecca are supposed to save if they follow the program? Listen, we're going to make some changes. We're not going to put in what the program said about $1,100. We're going to do what we want to do. We're going to do $1,500. We're not going to wait until the 7th. We're going to send it in. We're going to send it in on the 1st when we make the mortgage payment. We're paying more and we're paying sooner. I need you to watch $179,564. Watch the last three numbers here. We're putting on more. Will we get a better result in interest savings or will we get a worse result in interest savings? Watch this. Watch the compounding effect of doing something wrong for 7 years. So we tell the program we want to pay the $1,500 and it goes, look here. We're saving less per dollar. We're saving less overall. How about that? If I told you on a street corner that by paying more, you're going to be worse off, you would never believe it. But it's just math, folks. And we're doing the math for you, guiding you to financial freedom by saving you the maximum amount of interest that we possibly can.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.